Good morning.
Morning.
So it's Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. It's like 7:30 in the morning. We got some rain overnight, not a lot. You saw our dear friend this morning come by, but good night's sleep, right? Yeah, this was actually a really good sight.
No bugs.
That's like the best thing about it. I've got like the vestibule door open, which usually is a big no-no.
Right. I wasn't swarmed when I went out to go to the bathroom this morning. Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
so we know the bugs are coming back, but for whatever reason the bugs are not here, and it's fantastic. So we're enjoying that. Just having coffee, getting packed up,
nice.
getting situated, and we'll be on the trail soon. So see you there. All right, so camp is packed up. Backpacks are ready to go, and we're just commenting. And we got to give a shout out to this campsite because we've never been able to like get situated in the morning without some bugs, and there's literally nothing. So whatever the natural predators are, or whatever the conditions are that they don't come here, or it's been amazing.
Yeah.
So we really enjoyed that. We're not used to it. We're always dealing with bugs, even if they're not around. Like when there's a breeze, they're always around in the morning, and they're just not here. So it's been awesome. So thank you, Sugarloaf Creek campsite. It's been amazing. Hopefully we'll have similar luck, although we're not expecting it.
No. So just walking up the trail, and I look over, and our dear friend's having a rest. Oh, they're getting up. It's okay. So we're just crossing Ferguson Creek. There is a log that's pretty thick that you could probably cross on, but it's, with all the rain, it's probably pretty slippery, and I just thought I'd put my Crocs on. So did Brian. So pretty easy crossing. It came up to my knees at one point, but it wasn't too bad.
Thank you.
I think it's a ranger.
Cool.
What's the date today?
So this is definitely one of the more advanced ranger cabins we've seen. They've got solar, and initially thought he was just using this portable shower here with the propane for the hot water, but took a peek inside the cabin and he's actually got a shower in there. So that's pretty amazing. I guess the propane runs in and heats it up. So living a life of luxury out here. It seems a little bigger than the ones we saw on our previous backpacks. But yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see, he's got a little shower in there. So plenty of wood and pretty nice setup. There is obviously some that's got to be, well, who knows if that's what animal or just environment. But yeah, even got a homemade rocking chair, which is pretty interesting. You don't see these at every ranger cabin. Anything interesting?
Just in case of emergency, this is his
I saw
today's
that,
note,
yeah.
but I just flipped it over and it just talks about the closest exits, how to leave closest ranger station, and true emergency. Also leave a note, and then there's no radio inside the cabin.
It's interesting they don't leave a spare radio because he had his radio on.
Right.
Maybe too many false alarms.
Yeah.
And even I got a nice little work desk there. This is a pretty nice cabin, considering you're in the middle of nowhere. So there you have it. The Roaring River Ranger Cabin. Raining pretty hard right now, but we're in the trees, so we're not getting drenched, so we might hang out here for a minute or two. All right, we just waited out a pretty heavy rainstorm. You saw some of it with some thunder and one crack of lightning right above us. The skies have brightened up a little bit. We've probably been here about a half hour or so under the trees, so we had pretty good cover from the rain, but it's time to get a move on while we got this window. We're going to get wet anyway from the vegetation, but we'll see. We'll see how it is. It definitely has slowed down to a very small drizzle, so we're going to go for it.
So we just finished going through a meadow. And you can hear the thunder, so we're trying to quickly get the tent up. So we'll give you a shot of camp later, but Brian found this old can to move the sticks. Check in later.
Hello from day 3. It's about 4 in the afternoon. We are snug and warm and mostly dry at the Ranger Meadow campsite. I think there's campsites on both ends of the meadow, so we're at one of them. Hot chocolate. We're at about 8,800 feet, so we did a little bit of climbing today. We had that really big rainstorm that you saw earlier around noon, where it really came down, and it looked like we were going right into another big storm. But luckily, the rain didn't come down quite as hard, at least it hasn't yet. So we were able to get the camp set up and get comfortable. We almost got to where we wanted to go, but only about a half mile away, so all in all pretty good. And we would have gotten there, but it's just that
we were worried a big storm was coming because we started to hear more thunder and the clouds look very ominous.
Yeah.
So we just thought we saw a sheltered wooded area across the creek in the meadow. So we said, let's head for it. But the first place we tried to cross would have been above my waist. So we just kept walking up a little bit, and then we found a herd path that crossed at a lower. It still got deep, my shorts got wet, but it wasn't as deep.
yeah, so whether there's like a sign on the trail pointing to, it's like a developed campsite.
Right, like almost you'd think that like a trail crew or something had like camped here for a while, because there's 2 big bins. Like, they're not technically bare bins, but we've seen them before in the 60 Lakes Basin.
Right.
When there were folks, I'm assuming they were doing like research or something, were there. So, but yeah, there's a fire pit, there's logs.
There's a
to sit,
shovel.
lots here.
Yeah. So we did see a handful of people today. We saw our first official forest ranger
Yep.
of the trip. Chatted with him for a while. And then we briefly saw 2 younger guys doing a different route than us.
Yep.
And they told us that they heard Elizabeth Path would be quote unquote brutal. And then we ran into 2 guys coming down the way we're going up, and they went over the path today, and it was described as fun. So you can never really trust what people are going to tell you. It's really your own comfort level. I think definitely, yeah, the water crossings are more concerning than any snow at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They mentioned one water crossing. I don't know if we're actually going to be doing it. I'm not sure. Anyway, if we are doing it, it's definitely crossable, just maybe not at the trail.
Yeah.
Just go upstream a little bit, and it's a little milder, which is what we would do anyway. So yeah, really, it's so weird. 2 days in a row with almost no sun in the Sierras is very in August. You just never know the kind of weather you're going to get up in the mountains. I mean, a little colder, it could be snowing on us.
Right.
So at least there's that. So tomorrow is not going to be a big day, probably. We might go to the other campsite that we were looking at and set up base camp there, and I'll just go explore Big Bird Lake. That's probably what's going to happen. Maybe something else will happen, who knows? But I think that's it for today. We're going to settle in. Think we got a dinner.
Oh, I haven't chosen my dinner yet.
See, I have.
Probably like mac and cheese or something.
Yeah, it definitely is like a night for a hot meal, but
Brian, cold pizza.
But I have ramen soup, so I'll start off with a nice hot ramen soup, and then some delicious cold pepperoni pizza, yummy, and then cookies that aren't crushed.
So many cookies. How many cookies did you bring on this trip?
Well, instead of beers, I brought cookies, so a few cookies. We'll see how long they last. It's day 3.
Have you had any yet?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've had a couple each night, but I've got peanut M&Ms as backup once the cookies run out. The cookies didn't run out last trip, but I had beers last trip, so that is the trail report. See you in the morning.